Yo, good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're coming live from South Africa, you guys. We're live on TikTok and live on YouTube. So you guys can go over there and subscribe and follow to make sure that you get notified every time that the HerbMan Show is coming on. All right. So what we do here, man, is simply teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you guys about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. That's what we do here, man. I'm your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. This is a free information station, you guys. You don't have to pay for this information. All you simply got to do to pay for this information is pay attention. And how we do that here on TikTok and all these platforms is we make sure that you are tapping that screen to get us up to 100,000 likes during this live broadcast, okay? And how we get started is when we get to 1,000 likes. Now, you guys know me. I don't sell products. I sell programs, okay? A program that will get you back in tune with nature. I ain't selling nothing that's going to heal your diabetes. I ain't selling nothing that's going to heal your cancer. I ain't got nothing for you that's going to make your alopecia go away. I ain't got nothing for that. You know why? Because I am not a doctor, and I've learned that I don't chase diseases. I'm not chasing no disease. I'm not chasing your little alopecia away. We got to get to the root cause of what these problems are. I'm not just going to be chasing out your little damn high blood pressure every 5 minutes. You got folk on social media. You got folk in your neighborhood. You got stores and folk that want you to buy their products that's going to keep on treating your little big-headed ass as long as you want to. That ain't going to be me, though. Okay? So I am not treating your arthritis. I ain't treating your autoimmune diseases. Don't come this way. But there's a slew of people who are in entrepreneurship who will love your little money to get their life on track, and they're going to sell you whatever you want. But not me. I'm going to sell you what you need. I'm not here to sell you what you want. There's plenty of other industrialized, commercialized folks that need your money so they can get their bootstraps up off their ass and have a car, house, apartment, and something to eat. I'm not. That's not me. Okay. So welcome to the Terror Dome. What we come to do is teach you how to heal yourself and give you the blueprint on how to heal yourself. So instead of you standing outside of my fish restaurant every day trying to get a toothpaste and some fries, I am teaching you guys how to fish. Teaching you how to fish for your wants, for your needs, and for your desires. If you're desiring healing in your body, then it's going to be in your owner's manual. If you're desiring healing in your relationship, it's going to teach you how. But first, it's going to teach you how to have a good relationship with yourself. The owner's manual can't fix your husband, but it can fix you. The owner's manual is not going to fix your relationship with somebody else, but it'll fix your relationship with you. The owner's manual ain't gonna do this and that and the third, but it'll do it for you. And so what we've seen is that if we can get a program that can get this person, this one individual, back into cohesiveness and homeostasis with their nature, with who they really are. You got to know that you get mad what you get mad at. You got to know what makes you happy. You got to know what gets you, what your triggers are. You got to know what these things that have been done in your past will do to you. You got to understand what these things in your future will do to you. You got to know you. And the thing about it is you don't know your nature, and then you don't know nature. And so therefore, how can we utilize nature to help your nature? If you don't know your nature and then you don't know nature, then when you come over to a natural, holistic practitioner, which is what all of us are supposed to be standing firm on, I'm not just a business owner, whatever you want to look at me as. I am also a guardian, a preserver, a conserver of nature. This job ain't just treating you and pulling leaves off the tree. We got to preserve these leaves too. You got to have some conservation understanding about nature. You got to have some preservation understanding about nature too. You can't just use nature. Y'all motherfuckers want to get on TikTok talking about ashwagandha. After a while, your ashwagandha gonna be fake, because ashwagandha is a plant. It ain't designed for all of y'all to go buy it at one time. Irish moss is a plant that takes over time for that plant to formulate into the seaweed functionality that it is in the ocean. That Irish moss ain't never thought that 8 billion folk are wanted at one time. So now what happens when you make herbs trending is you make them be mass produced. And when they're mass produced, they're mass induced. Now think about drinking a hot cup of poison tea. As soon as you put heat on it with all of this lead and mercury and arsenic, and you turn that one little cup of hot tea into some of the most poisonous stuff you could ever drink. So be careful when you got people out here trying to industrialize nature. Ask them, do they really like plants? Do they really understand nature? Do they? And ain't it just about going to, or I go put my feet out there in the ground every day, man? That you so far away from nature because you grounding don't mean shit. Grounding ain't got nothing to do with, do you take care of the earth? Not do you put your toes on there, because all you're doing is asking for earth to do something else for you when you put your toes on there. But we talking about, do you pick up trash? Do you don't litter? Do you understand? Do you take care of it instead of keep asking it for? When you putting your feet on it, you asking it for something. It's like Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Come on now. So one part of this particular position is not just to teach people about herbs, teach people about the effectiveness of herbs, but it's also to conserve and preserve nature, which is also a duty when it comes to not just herbalists, but really to mankind. So what we're teaching you is that relationship between you and man. I mean, between you and land, right? We're teaching you that, and that's what you get in your owner's manual, okay? So as I walk you through this teaching about nature, nature's healing power, nature's patterns, as I walk you through this stuff and try to get you to understand an ancient cosmological understanding of how we did it back in the day, way before all this other stuff going on today. We did it a certain way, and we knew nature. It took us thousands of years to get into tune with nature, to calculate nature, to get nature under wraps, to get an understanding of the patterns of nature. It took thousands and thousands of years. There's a lot of people talking about this same subject today, but they don't know how it can heal them. They know how it can generate a little money. If you generate a little chaos, you generate a little controversy, you just generate a little confusion. Obviously, you can hold a social media platform. And so a lot of people are making it, they're teaching you about this, but it ain't deep enough for you to really get any value out of it, okay? Even if you talk about the Americas, for you guys that are saying we're from America, we're from Africa, we're from this, we're from that, it don't really, it matters to some people, it matters to some extent, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what side of the planet you're on, where you come from. It's really all about, do you know where you're at? Okay. So you can be from America. You can be from Africa. You can be from Europe. You can be from South America. But the question is, where are you at now? Okay. Right now, when I ask this question, I'm not talking about what country you at. Where you at on the map of life? You get this in your owner's manual, so this ain't something that I'm just teaching you that you don't get to get into your hands to where you guys can continue to watch me every day as I come on. If you got questions or concerns about your owner's manual, that little funky measly $50 that you pay for that owner's manual, y'all don't understand, but that also gives you a lifetime access to me now. Now I am over here in another country, so you have to make sure that you save my contact information and download WhatsApp in order to call me. And you call me anytime after from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll walk you through your owner's manual. So not only for that little funky measly $50 you finna get all this information, but then you also get a lifetime access. Who doing that? That's proclaimed to be a healer or herbalist. Lifetime access. You ain't got to pay no more because we know that you got what you need here. We ain't playing with you. Ain't no need and continue to keep getting your money after getting your money. We just need to explain this to you appropriately so that you can start to track yourself. Okay? So the big question is not where you from no more, because all of us are in bed with each other, to be honest with you. And what I mean by that is we're all a pool of differences. We're all a slosh bucket of different things coming from different people. You know, you got black folk in your line, you got white folk in your line. We all mutts at this particular point, right? So then it don't even really matter where you come from now. Now it's all about where you at. And you got some people that are at crossroads in their life. You got some people that are at a disease state in their life. They're at that location because these things are not necessarily places like restaurants, but they are states of being. And states of being is locations on currently where you at. Some of you guys are sick, but trying to be healed, but you're not at healing. You're at sickness. Some of you guys are broke and impoverished, and you're trying to be rich. But you're not at that rich stage yet. You're at the impoverished stage. And if you understood where you at and you understood that patterns, what patterns are, then you'll understand that spring is going to come every year, but it's never going to stay all year. So there's a permanency in that pattern. Now I start to understand that, okay, spring is always going to come, but it's never going to be forever. Summer's going to come, but it can't stay forever. Fall is going to come, but it don't last forever. Winter is going to come, but it does not last forever. That is the pattern of nature. So now if I say that I'm in my sickness, right, then sometimes you just got to be patient and wait on the wave, wait on the movement, wait on the shit that you're looking for to happen for you. Y'all don't want to wait. So because of your lack of patience in nature, because of your lack of patience, okay, let me put this up here. Because of your lack of patience in nature, or I'm gonna say with nature, you end up being a patient to man. Because of your lack of patience with nature, you end up being a patient to man. Because of your lack of patience, because you don't want to wait on God. You don't want to wait on the pattern of God. You don't want to study God. You don't really want to study to show thyself approved. See, this is what that shit really means, to study to show thyself approved. I know more than your pastor do about life. I know more than your doctor do about your health. So therefore, you don't need two people to really help you. You need one person that can understand the holistic dynamic of humanism. One person. You don't need two people to teach you about health and then another person to tell you about your finances. You need one person because it's a holistic paradigm of humanism. So if I could teach you how to grow money, I could teach you how to grow healthy cells. If I can teach you how to produce healing, I could teach you how to produce riches. It comes from the same pool energy, same source of energy, same unction, same drive, same thing. It comes from patience. Those folks playing the stock market got patience because they're understanding patterns. They understand trends. Trends is another word for patterns. In the stock market, you call it trends. I'm using the word pattern, but when a trader is trading the stock market, it is bear and it is bull. If y'all don't know that terminology, it's up and down. It's high tide and low tide. Okay? And all they're doing is trying to what? Understand the pattern, the trend, and ride the trend. So if you're supposed to be sick and you're trying to get healing, well, the real true thing about your sickness is patience. Patience. Your body gonna heal itself, but you got to have patience. You got to rest. You got to fast. You got to chill. You got to relax. You got to be patient. You got to, you see, your body can heal itself, but one thing about it is you don't stop from dealing with. So let's say you got bad kidneys. You've been taking high blood pressure medication for 40 years. Why? Why would you take anything for 40 years? Why didn't you correct that at year 30, year 20, year 10, or even year 1? Why would you sit up there and pop a pill for 30 years or 40 years? You know why? Because nobody really messed with you on the root cause of diabetes. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. These herbalists and these business people, it's a dream for you to be their customer for 40 and 50 years. Don't y'all get this shit? I don't just want your mama for 40 years. I want your whole family for 40 or 50 years, to feed my family for 40 or 50 years. So don't think that folk don't know how to articulate and market to you in a way to where they stay in your pocket as a bill to you for 40 and 50 years. That's crazy. And what they do on the other opposite, because y'all don't really know this, but teas will also mess with your kidneys and your liver. Anything that you consume, food or drink wise, got some kind of pressure on them kidneys and them liver. So going over here to the HerbMan when you got bad kidneys ain't always a good thing, especially if a motherfucker don't know what they're doing. Because liquids are still going to do what? Put undue pressure on the kidneys. So then therefore, we don't need to introduce more liquids to some broken down kidneys. Herbalist. Yeah, I'm talking to your motherfucking ass herbalist. You people. Why would I give you more liquids to kidneys who can't handle liquids? It don't make sense. Because you're asking the body to do something that the body really don't have energy to do, and you sold that person a dream. And that's why folks ain't getting their kidneys rebuilt, because these herbalists don't know what they're doing. But can your kidneys, can you get off dialysis? Yes. Can your kidneys rejuvenate? Yes. Can your liver rejuvenate? Yes. Do herbalists know how to do it? No. Which is why Dr. Sebi is still the top dog of the time, because he actually did the shit, and don't nobody else, even though you've been studying, you're watching them, all their video, you know, tapping into all their kinfolk, you know his son them now, you know his granddaughter them now, you know, bumped into his cousin them down in Atlanta, you know, went over there and ate food over there with his sister them, but you still, and they still, and don't nobody still get the credibility and the understanding that Dr. Sebi do. And I told y'all, that's why I had to leave America, because we really gonna do this shit, but we know we can't do it over there. Dr. Saban knew he couldn't do it over there. That's why he had somewhere to go. I got somewhere to go too now. Honduras was his home. He go to America, he go to Honduras. The only other guy that's doing this really like me, like this, understanding that you got to keep on the move, is Patrick Dales. That's the one I would encourage you guys to go, because he still go to Grenada. And then he come to New York, go to Grenada, come to New York, get the people from New York, take them to Grenada so you can retreat, get you into a natural, pristine environment, get you back balanced with nature, homeostasis, homeostatic type of environment where there's nothing for you to worry about. No cell phone no more, no bills no more, no this and no that. Do you know that if I could just relieve you of that stress of even just to have to think about those things, that's going to help you with 50% of your health way before you ate or drank any tea or any herbs. These retreats are not necessarily what you think. They're not doing something special in the retreat. They just got a retreat for you to retreat to. And it's in the retreating. That's the healing component. And then they take you to these natural environments and give you fruit and vegetables coming from that environment. So now you ain't getting mass produced or mass induced. And you'll see that in the couple of weeks of you being in a natural environment, drinking good water, good air, good food, and some good herbs, next thing you know, your goddamn cancer done went down, your diabetes is no longer there, your high blood pressure gone, your autoimmune system done goddamn just switched up on you, and now you're gonna credit the man and credit the woman, but it wasn't that, it was nature. It was nature. You see? But sometimes you got to be somebody that you trust enough to get you to embrace the natural environments. Dr. Sebi was somebody big enough for people to trust enough to be able to get you to embrace that trip to Honduras. But nobody factored in what is the retreat itself doing way before Dr. Sebi give you his herbs. The retreat is doing most of the work. Nature-based interventions. Nature is doing most of that work. And all Dr. Sebi is doing is just adding more nature into nature. And next thing you know, your cataract cleared up, your dementia cleared up, your AIDS gone. Because all it was the relief of the obstruction. Most of the time, the obstruction is over your eyes, not in your blood. Most of the time, the obstruction is over your eyes. It's a veil over your eyes, not necessarily in your blood. And so you can't focus, you can't concentrate, you can't see clear to what you need to be doing. And that's really the ignorance part of this stuff is really the major problem. The ignorance of your healing. It's there, but you don't know how to activate it. And then my thing is, well, why do you even got to worry about activating it? When you cut your arm, if you went outside right now and went through your little sticker bra bush and scratch your arm up. If we didn't invent alcohol, if we didn't never invent baking soda with all this other hydrogen peroxide, and we didn't never invent the Band-Aid, over time, that wound would still heal. It would still heal. Despite your inventions of being able to heal it faster or disinfect it or whatever, that scratch would still heal if you just did what? That scratch would still heal if you just did what, y'all? Come on. I'm talking to y'all today. What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for joining. Come on in the building, you guys. No, I love you guys. No, I love you. If you never did nothing to that, if you don't do nothing to that scratch gonna heal. But what is the operative thing? Leaving it alone. Lack of patience with nature is going to have you being a patient to man. Okay? You can't just leave the kidneys alone. They told you had high blood pressure. You still was trying to drink things around that diagnosis. They told you had high blood sugar. You still were trying to eat things around that diagnosis. They told you that you had autoimmune disease and you still was trying to do certain things around that diagnosis because you didn't leave yourself alone. You didn't allow for the body to heal itself. Do y'all understand? Let it heal. Sit your ass down somewhere. Rest your mind and your body when you are sick. Let it hit. Your body will do it. But the reason why you sick is all this constant get up and then going and you de-energizing the body. Baby, you ain't got no energy. A herb ain't gonna give you no energy to heal yourself. You need energy for the herb to do what it needs to do. You need the energy. Supplemental energy ain't got nothing on your energy. A dead plant that's been in somebody's jaw for years. Really? Come on. A dead ass echinacea that you don't even know been in your herbalist jaw. Your herbalist don't have that echinacea. Ain't nobody came in about that motherfucker. That echinacea been in that plastic jar sitting up under that stove light for 5 years. You just don't know. I don't know about echinacea. Some of them herbs just been sitting in there. Y'all come on now. Stop playing. They just been sitting in there. You believing on the wrong thing. Every time you want to do something, you always got to believe in a man. I thought you said you believed in nature. I thought you said you believed in God. But every time you got a problem, you go run down into a funky ass man. When sometimes your problem is God's turn to do it. You only get so far with man's intellect. That's why some of you guys are being turned down from the doctors. There's nothing more we can do, ma'am. Nothing more we can do. We can just send you to hospice. We can send you back home. We can send you to a nurse to come see about you. But there ain't nothing more. Why? Because you've reached man's intellect. So the pastor can't do nothing for you. You done sent that boy to church all his life. He went out there and killed 8 folk last night. The boy that went to church all that, if church, nothing else is supposed to make you morally better. Morally, you're supposed to have a little bit more better morals. And the man that went out here and killed 8 folk, but he been going to church all his life because pastor intellect can only go so far. But what that boy was dealing with, it ain't gonna be intellectual. It's got to be intuitive. And pastors nowadays are going to be charismatic, so they lean more on the intellectual side. They went to school, they got a degree. That's what y'all want. I want a teaching minister. Well, you want an intellectual motherfucker in a spiritual world. You want an intellectual person to know something about an intuitive subject. You want a carnal-minded speaker to know how to talk in the spirit of God. Come on, man. Y'all better understand what you're saying. You want a teacher? You want somebody that's been taught the word of God to teach you the word of God when the word of God is a spiritual motherfucking thing. It's an intuitive thing. You can't intellectually encapsulate me intuitively, motherfucker. You got to do it intuitively. If this is an intuition-based subject matter, you must be intuitively leading me down that road. You can't be intellectually trying to tell me about an intuitive process. You got to be in the spirit. So you threw out the hooper and the holler because that's what got you turned around. You threw away the hooper and the holler, but the hooper and the holler didn't have no intellect. That joker didn't go to school. That joker he barely graduated. But what happened was with the hooping and the hollering created a intuitive speak, because guess what? I created this rhythm to where I don't know what I'm gonna say no more. I'm caught up in the moment. I'm caught up in the rapture. I'm caught up in the spirit. You don't see me reading. You don't see me writing. You don't see me. And so now I'm caught up in this rhythm to where I'm not speaking out of intuitiveness. Y'all got scared of him though and pushed this pastor up out of the church altogether and hired the teacher because you scared of the spirit of God, but you say y'all Bible thumpers. There's no way you can want to know God and deny nature. And the critical thing is denying your nature. So for this little funky measly $50, that's what we're teaching you. And we believe that programming, that reprogramming you back onto nature's clock and not onto the boss's time clock at work. Reprogramming you onto nature's clock and not the diagnosis clock that they gave you about how much longer you're going to live. But we reprogram you back to nature's clock and not to somebody else's time that they done put on you, right? And then now you get reintroduced back to the qualities in which God can provide that man can't. You have to tap into your intuition. Man ain't going to be able to know how to do everything. And your diseases, I'm going to tell you again, diabetes is self-control, is not blood sugar. Now, when it deals with your physical, it may do something to the sugar in your blood or the glucose in your blood. But the precipice of it, the beginning of it, is self-control. Because if you didn't have self-control issues, there's no way that you can get into blood sugar issues. You're eating too many starches, too many carbs. That means that there's something in you that you can't control. Now, your doctor, when you go down there, they don't have a range to measure your self-control. They only got a range to measure your blood sugar. So you don't walk down the doctor with the wrong medication. This joker done gave you some inorganic meds when the meds that you needed was meditation. That y'all done got in there and got boo swingered and swangled to purchase some medications. Those are the meds that they sold you, medication, because you went to the wrong hospital. You went to the wrong house. See, the hospital is your house. And instead of taking a medication for blood sugar, you should have took meditation for self-control. I'm gonna keep on teaching, man. Y'all keep on tapping. I'm gonna keep on teaching. Y'all keep on tapping. I'm gonna keep on talking. All right. So now that we are introducing these patterns, and we're telling you that all things are created by these waves. Now, I told you, folk like to use big names and words. So some of y'all may have heard these things called frequency, vibrations. We vibing together. Some of y'all may have heard electromagnetic waves. Some of you may have heard the sine wave or the sound wave. Some of you guys may have heard all kinds of names, but at the end of the day, this is basically what I like to call language. This is saying something, and if you don't know where you're at, then you don't know what it's saying. You don't know whether you should be intellectual or intuitive. You don't know whether you should be healed or sick. You don't know whether you should be poor or broke. You're accepting things, but you don't really know if that's really where you at today. And that's the problem. That's the problem. No acceptance. Be sure. Okay? Be sure. And I'm really encouraging the herbalists as well. Find you a system. Stop working with these people out of these books y'all done bought. Stop copying these authors. Because that's really all you guys are doing. You find some book you like, and then you go copy the products in those books. Stop doing that. Okay? Stop doing that. If the products in that book work, then that will probably be the #1 selling book. I'm not saying that they don't work. What I'm trying to get you to see is you need to be somebody that can write a book about products instead of somebody that can copy a book about products. You need to get to where you can write a book about products as well instead of just coming in copying. When I first started this, that was my easy way out too. I'm going to just copy Dr. Sabi. Just like most of the Dr. Sabaites and the Alkalinites and all y'all, you just copy. Okay? But at some point, I said, hell no, I don't want to copy because I don't know everything he know to copy him. What if there's something come in about something about some issue that I don't know because I wasn't with him behind the scenes? It's a dangerous thing to try to copy somebody and you don't really know everything about that person. I don't know what he will give you this for, that for, this for, that for, because bodies are changing, times have changed, herbs are changing, and we just don't know because we wasn't with him. So you're trying to be a bona fide Dr. Sabiite off of YouTube videos? Man, if you don't get your ass in here and learn how to goddamn do this shit for real, you know. So stop trying to copy him but copy him. And what I mean by that is don't try to copy his products, copy his life, copy his mission. And so we got off of that. When I first started, I had his products in my products, just like everybody else. And I said, man, fuck that shit. I want to be a biologist if he was a biologist. Nigga don't even know how to read. So if he can do it, I can do it. I want to be a biochemist if he could be one. If he could learn it enough to do it, I want to learn enough to do it. I don't have to be a biologist. I ain't going to school no more. I ain't got to learn how to be no biochemist. I'm not going to that school no more. I ain't got to learn how to be no doctor. I'm not going to your school no more. I'm not doing that game. But I can learn it just as efficient as you because somebody else did it under the radar without going and graduating and doing all that type of shit. And you can still be able to know it and you know how to do it from nature. Had it not been Dr. Sabi bumping into that Mexican down there in Mexico when he was 30 years old, he wouldn't know half the shit he was on. So my point to you is that the man had to bump into somebody that knew nature better than him and knew his nature better than him. And when you're bumping it, when you're running into these practitioners or these service providers, your doctor got to know this thing better than you. And we know that they don't. They in it just like us. Your pastor got to know this game better than you. And he can't even teach you patterns like this. Your doctor ain't going to teach you the patterns like this. Your pastor can't teach you patterns like this because this is the shit they need to know too. What made Dr. Sabi great is a Mexican in Mexico that knew more about nature and about his nature than he did. Then he realized, damn, this is another echelon of understanding that I would need to know because I've been dealing with diabetes and impotence for years, and I just come here and you tell me that I'm a black body needing black this and I need this and that and the third. That man didn't know that shit. Dr. Sabi did not know that. And you need the same thing. I needed the same thing. I want somebody that knows nature better than me and knows my nature, knows human nature. So they can talk to me, sit me down, get me to understand that behind the scenes, this is what's happening. It's not your diet of eating and drinking that's got you sick. It's the diet of thinking and feeling. This is what got you sick. This is what's got you sick. This is what's being passed down. This is what can get hereditary. Diabetes ain't hereditary, but the thinking and the feeling can be passed down. Your mama and them have self-control issues that never got dealt with. This is one of the 7 deadly emotions. So she passed that old emotion on over into your bloodstream. Now you got self-control problem. So now it don't matter if you were eating bread like her or drinking beer like your daddy. The addiction came through the bloodstream, not necessarily on what. You could be addicted to anything out here nowadays. It's the addictions that coming into the bloodstream. The secretions of what? Things that make you feel good. And the thing about it is the things that make you feel good in this particular world are going to be, unfortunately, the things that you can't let go. Ice cream make you feel good. It's going to be hard for you to let that go. If that hot dog ain't just a hot dog, it does something to your emotional whereabouts, your state of mind. That pizza does something to a 600-pound joker. That pizza ain't shit. That man been eating pizza forever. But it's the feeling I get from the pepperoni and the cheese. Not the full feeling. It's a good feeling. I'm addicted to that. That's called dopamine. So drugs give you dopamine, sex give you dopamine, food give you dopamine, alcohol give you dopamine, work can give you dopamine, compliments can give you dopamine. So you'll see your old lady on social media all day shooting pictures out to all kind of men. Why? Because those men is doing something for her. It's called dopamine. So compliments can give you dopamine. Especially when you're sad and your baby daddy done you wrong, you go to work and get what? All your little work husbands give you some dopamine. They doping your head up. That's what they call blow your head up, right? That's that dopamine. That's that dope. So you have this stuff coming through the bloodstream. But there's some other stuff that can come through that ain't that good. It ain't always good to be on dopamine. Because that's a temporary state of being. It flees. It wears off. If some of y'all that been out here that know been smoking that pipe back in the day, you know that thing will wear out too fast. That ain't no good though. that flake. I want that butter. Y'all niggas out here selling that flake. That flake go too fast. I want that butter. That butter, that thing sit on there for a few hours. I at least get a couple pulls off that butter. Now, you understand me? So you got to understand this thing. So I'm old school. I've been doing it for too long. I don't want to be fooled, so I'm not going to fool you. I'm at a point in time in my life where my health is very important. I'm 46 years old. I ain't no 16-year-old or no 18-year-old. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not somebody who's been a vegan all their life. I ain't none of that. So I could be knocked off just like you. And I'm afraid that the doctors don't know how to treat me. I'm afraid that the pastor don't know how to treat me. So I don't go to the doctor and I will not go to the pastor. But what I learned is that I still need medical help. So if I'm not going to go down there to that hospital, I got to learn how to heal myself. Because I got to take something at some point if something happens to me. Oh, because I said I don't want to go down there to that church house, that's fine. I still got to know God. So just because I don't want to go down there to your church, I don't mean that I'm just going to say, well, fuck God. No, I learned that myself because I know that I got to have that too. So I am becoming these men where I feel like I can't trust them at. I have to become that within my own self. Way before I doctor on my family, I need to know how to doctor on me. Way before I pastor to my family, I need to know what I believe in. So I had to become those things for myself, which is why I'm giving you this opportunity to get this owner's manuals in your hands so that you can become empowered. to be these people within yourself. The doctor ain't got no right to do you no better. The love is his children, his family, and he will sell you all kind of blood pressure, high blood sugar medication, all the rest of your life to feed his family. He'll tear your goddamn kidneys up by mistake or on purpose to feed his family. That man ain't stunned your motherfucking ass. Ain't nobody in no hospital loving on you. So you can't go there for care. These pastors ain't love no more. They ain't got no love. Asking people for money all in the church when some of them folk have walked the church, they rode the bike to church, and some of them under the, not just in the apartment, and you over here in the big old house asking for money, and them folk spending their lives just to get to you, more or less put something in your plate. You ain't got no love. Most of you churches are in impoverished communities, so you're asking poor people to make you rich. That's automatically X'd out. You want to be rich, pastor? Move your ass on the book. Don't bring your motherfucking ass to bank head talking about you want to help the people and then coming in here begging people for their last 20, 30, 40, $100 trying to push this tithing on poor people. Nigga, go get you a side job, side business that can give the people the money instead of you asking those same poor folk for some money. You need to be doing, you said you came to Bankhead, then you needed to come to Bankhead with some ideals to put money in the pockets of the people in Bankhead, not some ideals for the folk from Bankhead to put some money in your goddamn pocket. Nobody need no new church. But these folk at your church need some new shoes, they need some new socks, they need some new school supply, they need new everything. Bring your motherfucking ass to my community and then for something. You said God told you to come to Bankhead. He told you to come over here, and you know that these folks under the poverty line. You know that this is a low-income community. You supposed to bring something to it, not just your goddamn book. Bring something to these communities and stop trying to rape them. They already gone. And then you wondering why ain't nobody at your church no more. You wonder why I'm doing better than you. Y'all try to shut me out of the church. Remember, I was young, pastor, preacher, singer, and I went down and I heard. Been doing that since I was in my younger. See, so I could have ran the mile on that thing too. I could have got you that way too. If I really wanted to, I could have got you pulpit. But that ain't me. Because I didn't want to get got from the pulpit. So if I get you, then that means I can get got. I ain't trying to get got. That's just the bottom line, y'all. I am not trying to get got by no lies, no fake, no nothing. I told you I've been 46 years on here. I've lived in 5 different countries on the planet. I've seen enough to know enough to understand that all of the information, all of the desires, all of the tools that you would need to do something. You want to be rich? Well, here it is. You looking at a young black brother from the hood that didn't know nothing about risk, but only why? But I ain't chasing money. I'm chasing nature. I'm chasing God. I'm following the Son of God. I ain't chasing no bag. The bags are chasing me now. Why? Because I'm in my right situation. I'm in tune. You know how somebody said, boy, he in his bag right now. You can tell he was in the bag. You can tell the bag, but the bag right in pocket with that cat right there, right? See, when you in the pocket with this thing, that's when shit that you never even dreamed of was started out. Look, I told y'all, man, I'm over here in South Africa. Who the hell? I'm the first person that ever in the planet of my family to come to Africa. Who the hell, how the hell you get over there? Who the hell and how the hell did you get over there? I'm in tune, bro. I'm riding. I'm surfing. I'm surfing. When this thing say rest, I rest. When this thing say go, I go. I'm surfing, bro. When it they say up, I go down, I slide down that hill. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm trying to stay in the pocket. I'm gonna have some good days, I'm gonna have some bad days. But now I know how to counterbalance the bad day with some of this good shit. I know how to counterbalance the good day with some of the bad shit, but I always keep me some balance enough so I can make sure that I'm just staying in the pocket with where I am at. Do you know where you at? Do you know where you are? Because you could be simply fighting against the tide of what God is trying to show you in your life. And if you're fighting against these lessons, you mess up your whole path. Aries is going to help you with Taurus. Taurus is going to help you with Gemini. Gemini going to help you with Cancer. Cancer going to help you with Leo. Leo going to help you with Virgo. Spring always helps summer. Summer's always beneficial to fall. Fall has always been necessary for winter. Winter has always been necessary for spring to bring his ass back. So these things ain't detrimental to each other, they are beneficial to each other. And so when you mess up one lesson, you'll mess up the whole catastrophe. It's just a catastrophe of, because once you fail here, once you are fighting against the wave to take you to the next space, take you to the next lesson, then you failed the whole class of humanism, the whole class of everlasting, the whole class. The only nemesis to everlasting life is death. You've been fed a death consciousness, and so therefore you're watching Superman, you love Spider-Man, you're all in tune with Batman, you're all good with what the name is from Africa, old X-Man. And at the end of the day, they can live forever, but you can't, and you ain't still searching for why. And this is, and I'm saying, if I'm going to church, this is what I want to know. And when I'm going to church, baby, this is what I want. I want to see it. How does it look to follow God? How does it look to follow the Son of God? How does infinity and everlasting life look? Because ain't nobody ever seen it before. And the only way you can understand that type of language is not in English. The only way you can understand that type of language that I'm speaking to you right now is not in English when you're talking about going back to nature or going and talking to God about your life. You got to know how to talk in tongues. And them tongues ain't with English or with any kind of vernacular. Those tongues is simply with numbers. The language of the gods is numbers. The language of the gods is numbers. And the most important number that each and every one of us come with is not man-made. So we don't give a damn about your driver license number. That ain't gonna tell me shit about you. We don't give a damn about your social security number. That ain't gonna tell us nothing about you. I don't give a damn about your credit card number. It ain't gonna tell me nothing about you. Okay? Then you only got one number that's gonna give me everything I need to know about you. It's better than your hair sample. Your hair sample keeps 90 days worth of information. It's better than your blood sample. Your blood sample keeps 24 hours worth of information. It's better than your blood type. Your blood type is only 4 types of blood types, right? And you can carve out 8 because you're gonna have 4 of those gonna be positive and 4 of those gonna be negatives. Okay, right? So you got all of these things: saliva, urine sample. You ain't gotta worry about that. Your birthday holds more information about being in tune with nature, about your tendencies physically, and also about your tendencies spiritually than you would ever know. I don't do names because names is English, and whoever did the English did the numbers and put the numbers on the alphabets, and so you get down into all that wheelhouse. I don't want to do your name because you ain't your name. I want to do something that was imprinted on you from nature. And so the time that you were born was imprinted on you from nature. And the reason why I like the birthday is because that's the lesson that you were learning in the Bible. How did they understand Jesus was coming? The Son was coming, right? It was because they were following celestial patterns, the patterns again. And during these celestial patterns, they realized that the brightest star would shine at a particular time of the year. Now, this whole talk of the Messiah was always reverberating throughout the people, right? But don't nobody know who, where, how, and what he was going, how they were going to do it until they understand the celestial patterns. And then say, oh, okay, well, we'll just follow this pattern. And then when the star gets the brightest, then we'll look in that community and see who was born under that star. Now, the importance of this is two things. Birthday. So for 2,000 years, this one man is the most famous man on the planet. The most famous person on the planet, the most well-knownest person on the planet is Jesus Christ. It's not Muhammad. It's not Buddha. It's not Krishna. It's not your mama them. It's not Wilt Chamberlain with 2,000 wives. It ain't Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. The most famous person on the planet for the last 2,000 years is a person named Jesus the Christ. And you celebrate his birthday, or at least have acknowledged that birthday for that same amount of time. So that means that through the patterns of celestial patterns, you have carved out a celebratory time, a sacred time when somebody's born. Because nature tagged you. We ain't talking about the driver's license number. That's when your state tagged you. We ain't talking about your social security number. That's when the government tagged you. We're not talking about your credit card number or account number. That's when your bank tagged you. But I'm talking about when you came into the paradigm. Nature tagged you. We use that to do what no man has been able to do for you. And I ain't even doing it for you. It's nature. All I'm simply doing is showing you an old way that we've been doing this. Somebody knew how to talk to nature. Somebody knew how to talk to God, and it was through numbers. And that's why they threw the shells down. They threw seashells down. They threw skull bones down. All this, it's a numbers game. Okay, it's a numbers thing. To talk to nature, to talk to God is in numbers. That is the spiritual understanding. So when you're reading the Bible, you got to be able to pull out what numbers mean. 144,000 don't mean number 9, your highest consciousness. So they ain't talking about 144,000 people gonna see God. They're talking about these people getting to a highest consciousness. So when they're talking about the 666, the mark of the beast, they're not talking about something that you don't understand, because what you got to understand is that there's consciousness up here and there's consciousness down here. So you got womb at the bottom and a womb at the top. The reproductive organs is the womb at the bottom. The brain is the womb at the top. So if I say 144,000, then we're talking about 9, right? But if I say 666, if you add that up, that's 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. You're talking about the same thing. You're talking about the same thing, but in a different direction. The mark of the beast is the highest consciousness that can come into your carnality. But they're still talking about consciousness. The number 9 is talking about the consciousness. The mark of the beast is your consciousness. Now, the thing about it is you got to understand that the way that can be interpreted is that if you don't understand what I'm saying, you can spend a lot of your time consciously in hell, in the lower self, in the south, in the lower self, consciously. Death is a consciousness. It's not real, but if you let it be real in your consciousness, it'll be real in your reality. And this is what I'm trying to get you to learn about the power of the mind, because mind is what created the whole universe. And we ain't talking about your human mind and my human mind, but it was a mind. It was an intelligence and an intuitiveness that created the whole universe. And then you were made in the image of that consciousness, of that particular duality, of that power. You were made in the image of mind. So nature put 2 feet and 2 hands on you, but then gave you a creative mind so to see if you can work with them hands. Then gave you resources to see, could you understand? Could you be intellectual with those things? Then gave you some unknown moments, some unseen, unforeseen environmental stimuli that happens to you too. Now, can you use intuition with that mind? But you're not doing that today. When your body is weak, we need your spirit. When your body is weak, I need your mind. Okay? And when your mind is weak, then we need your body. We need you to share the time with both of these, okay? Any question? Any question, you guys? Any question? Keep tapping. I'll keep talking, you guys. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I am forever grateful for you. I'm very aware of my choice to know instead of doubt after your reading of 2173. Oh, well, we appreciate you, Keto. Appreciate you, Keto, for all the love and the support. I know this is new information to most of us. We've been reading about consciousness. There's a lot of brothers that have came and graced us from, Brother Polite, the young Pharaoh, Nature Boy. You got, a lot of them got caught up in stuff, but at the end of the day, they came out on fire. Okay. Then you got your Dr. Benz. You got your John Clarks. Okay. You got your Sertimas. Okay. Then you got your Bobby Hemmets. Okay. Then you have your Dr. Phil Valentine's. Okay. Then you got your blue and red pill. You know what I mean? They old in the game now, right? And then a brother that I understand and know about is what his name is, Reverend Pastor. I think he's a reverend or pastor, man. I don't want to get his name wrong. But anyway, he was a real reverend pastor, but then turned, and now he's got the African village down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Used to watch the brother for years, right? So you got these brothers that's been throwing out consciousness for forever, but what does it relate to your health? How can we use the information that you're telling us to be able to activate the paradigm in which we're supposed to be in, which is a heavenly consciousness? So you can tell me I'm indigenous to America, but how do I get into heavenly consciousness from that information? Do you have tradition? Do you have understandings that we used to do back in the early times that can get us back in the right route? God is not looking for a new driver of the car, looking for you to change directions. So therefore, nobody is no good to drive the car so black folks can treat white folks like how white folks used to treat black folks. That ain't what time it is. You know what I mean? You want God to put the world in black folk hands so they can treat white folk like that. I mean, why would you think that? Why would I want to put, as a father, why would I tell my youngest kid that he can tell my oldest kid what to do? Because my oldest kid been telling him what to do for years. We're not going to do that, man. Let's just change directions from this telling somebody what to do thing at all. So we don't want to change drivers. Nature is trying to get us to change directions. Okay? So how we do that is by your birthday, because the numbers is the language and we know how to tap into that language. Okay? Any questions? How can I rebuild my muscles? How can you rebuild your muscles? Easy. There's a lot of different herbs out there. There's a lot of different things that you can do. But I don't like to give recommendations unless you got your owner's manual. Okay. So for a funky measly $50, get your owner's manual. Okay. But it's easy to rebuild muscle, homie. All you got to do is just stick to your alfalfas, your mushrooms, and your sprouts and your microgreens, and you can stay building muscle. Is our birthday really the date you were actually born? Didn't we have different calendars before? Yeah, you all had different calendars before, but that don't matter. All you need is what. So the thing is this: all you need something to do is to track you in. It don't matter if you call yesterday the 15th, the 43rd, or the 23rd. As far as you is concerned, it don't matter what you call it. All we got to do is record that you were born yesterday. Okay? When we record what you was born yesterday, whatever that day is, whatever you call that day, whatever they call that day, whatever they call that day, the thing about it is you're encapsulated under nature. You see what I'm saying? So you can say, well, okay, did they throw us off time? That's fine. We're just looking for the day you were born. You could say that was any kind of day. Nature is still going to do something magical with your mistakes and tell you about that day. Yesterday, regardless if you called it yesterday, regardless if it was the 15th, the 34th, the 54th, you might not know what day it is, but nature do. So we say That baby was born on yesterday. What you gonna tell me about it? Cheney B, you understand me? Don't be so conspiracy theories that you think that man just done debacle everything. No, there's a way to where God can show you itself through man's fallibility. Okay. 50-50, we're all guilty of the hands control. Don't blame each other, blame the fault. Yep. Exercise and lifting weights. Start small with weights. Now you don't really have to lift weights. Everybody can't lift weights. I emailed you. Can you please resend the invoice? No, but you can resend your email, love. I don't know you like that. Don't be on my don't come on my live talking business, y'all. If you want to be able to holler at me, DM me or email me. The quickest way for you to get your ass cussed out is to come on my live talking business. Okay? That's what the emails and the DMs is for. On my live, this is for people who are needing issues. They got their birthday they want to do. They want this information. I don't handle business on here, baby. Okay? If you email me, then I got you. Just email me again and be like, don't cuss me out on TikTok no more. Then I know who you is, love. Then I got you. All right. Let's see this. My daughter suffers from severe acne. Man, you got something for that? Yeah. Your daughter is suffering from severe hormonal issues. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, even though you don't have to tell me, but I'm sure that all of this acne stuff started around the time of her cycle, around the time of her menstruation. So that should have been around, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's when it started doing, but it's just a lot of emotions, man. It's a daughter going through a lot of emotions. She has to learn how to control her hormones. Remember that the endocrine system is that system that they are attacking. It's the system that the snake, the enemy, whoever you want to call it, whoever you think is out here being your adversary, it's this endocrine system. It could work for you or it could work against you. And what's happening is you guys are always on cortisol, and cortisol can keep you going, but then also cortisol will kill you. You're never really on melatonin because you're never really concentrating, focusing, resting, relaxing the way that you should, or sleeping. Okay. Now, if you're on melatonin, yeah, you might sleep the day away, but that's your healing. So you have to learn how to balance between the two. Okay, you got to learn how to balance between the two. So what's happening now is there's an emotional hormonal charge going on by way of the endocrine system. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you something. When you start seeing growth and development going on in the body, especially young girls, okay, acne is a growth and development. Okay, it's something growing. So we know off the rip that there is a high propensity of what? Growth factors in her diet. Okay, the chicken is the female of the rooster. So if you're eating chicken, you're eating hormones. The cow is the female version of the bull. So if you're eating beef, you're eating hormones. So for my men and women out there dealing with hormonal imbalances, i.e. prostate issues, reproductive issues, breast cancer, uterine, ovarian, PCOS, all of that, your ass is eating chicken and you're eating beef, you're eating girls. Well, what about fish? Half of their ass is girls too. So girls eating girls, you're going to have a girl problem. Come on, ladies. I like to put it how T.I. is. And when boys eat too much girls, you might have a little hormonal problem. Okay, so that's another thing. So the pituitary gland is the gland that I will go toward, and then delusion and loneliness is going to be the spiritual thing I talked to my daughter about, Alejandro. Okay, delusion and loneliness. If you could lift a can of soup, then you could lift weight 2 pounds at the minimum. Yeah. No, love, I got you. I know you didn't mean no harm, baby. That's right. Man, sometimes those people have bad hygiene causing the acne. Makes sense. Bad hygiene is still a spiritual thing. Alejandro said, "Down." Hey, Alejandro, you know I was gonna get it to you anyway. That's why you had me, buddy. You know, and look, that's your daughter, so I know you're gonna slide that out there. You like, hold on, I try to help my baby girl. What do you mean by having self-control issues? BK55. What you mean? What I mean by having self-control issues? If your ass can't control yourself over certain things, you know you ain't got no business doing. Then that's what it is, BK. What you mean? Huh? Any question down here on my YouTube? Any questions down here on my YouTube? A parasite infestation. Thank you for bringing that up. Parasite infestation. What this basically means spiritually is that D-moving stream. Okay, D-moving stream. You have a parasitic. If you're talking about you or whoever it is got this situation, you have a parasitic spirit. Okay, you are a parasite. You have a parasitic spirit. And so when you become that, then it becomes a physical thing. Okay. So when you're talking about a parasitic infestation, that's either you just sitting by some dirty water drinking it, or it's you. Because your body and your acids and your microbiome and all that so supposed to be able to deal with that. You remember you got an immune system which is in your microbiome, 80% is there. All right. Then you got stomach acid, you got all this stuff going on the way you're supposed to be able to handle most of that yourself. So to be able to tell me that you got infested with parasites, let me know that you are parasitic in your behavior. Okay. And we got to fix that first. Okay, because if you become a parasitic infestation and then you don't stop that, but you want somebody to stop the parasites within you, it won't happen. We got to stop both of y'all. We're going to stop you from acting like that, and then we can stop them from acting like that within you. It's spiritual. Okay, it's spiritual. What you mean, what herbs for acne? There's a lot of different herbs for acne, you guys. It ain't about the acne. It's about the delusion and the loneliness. Are y'all not listening? If I give you a fucking herb for acne and you don't stop the delusion and the loneliness, you don't stop the life things that are going on in that person's life, then you just keep buying my acne stuff. There's no panacea for acne if you ain't messing with the life of the person. The programming is the panacea. There's no product. So I can tell you about Cagelia. They got a skin herb out here called Cagelia. That'll take that shit away. But if your ass get back into those things, that'll come back. So did Cagelia heal you? So did Cagelia heal your acne? If you want to go toward Thuja, Thuja is very good for acne as well. Thuja would be my top one, Thuja, right? But Thuja take that acne away. But if you still acting a certain way in life, that acne will come back. Did Thuja heal you? No. Thuja ain't doing nothing but treating the skin. But what's treating within? You see? I ain't trying to sell y'all no anything, man. I just want y'all to get that, man. I ain't gonna try to sell y'all no anything. I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all coming here just looking for herbs and products, please go somewhere else. No, I ain't mad at you. I ain't got no problem with you. But you won't get that from me. We need to talk to God about your problem, man. Stop trying to ask me. I don't know what the fuck going on with you. Y'all stop trying to ask me, man. Go ask God. You really need to know this for yourself. That's why we're selling this stuff, so you don't have to come back to me no more. You ain't got to go to the doctor no more, the therapist no more, the psychologist no more. You ain't got to go to the pastor no more. You got everything you need in your hands. You do it now. Okay, you do it. What we got here? My birthday is October 5th, 1994. What does that mean, Paulise? When you pay your funky measly $50, we'll show you what that means, Paulise. HerbMan teaching, he ain't selling. Yeah, that's what it is, man. They want somebody to sell their ass something, bro. Just like everybody else. I get it. You know, TikTok is the Amazon of social media. You know, it's the Amazon of Facebook. So I get it. Everybody on here selling something. But I'm trying to sell you back to you, and that's priceless. So what you want me to charge you? I'm trying to sell you back to you. That's priceless. What you want me to charge you for this shit? You know, you want me to come on here and charge you what this shit really worth? Because what it's really worth is $10 million per person. Because the thing about it is, what is the end result of this is not just your little measly healing that you're looking for, but what we're trying to teach you about, and I keep trying to tell y'all that, is that this is the thing that's coming out of this. I'm going to keep putting this up there because y'all keep reading about it, but you don't see where it's coming from. This is what we're doing. I know this is hard for you to believe. Everlasting life, this nigga off his rocker. He crazy. I know. I told you I used to be a pastor, but one thing about it, I used to believe what I was reading. I used to believe that shit and still do. You can get this This is what I believe that the ancient gurus, the yogis, the monks, all were attempting to do, but they didn't put a whole bunch of emphasis and value on the physical understanding of nature. So they would starve and they would fast themselves to get this thing on up, to get this dial on up to their highest consciousness. They would devalue the body. They would just drain the body energy, physical energy out without feeding it, without nothing to raise the spiritual consciousness. But guess what? You get so spiritually high, but you know earthly good because your ass can't come back to the body because that body died. That's why you ain't seen everlasting, is because they had information impartial. And that's okay, because that's what every generation is for, is to go back and get some of these nuances, these lost sciences, these lost spiritual understandings, and bring them forth in a new people in a new way, so that that information can be done. I did this when I first got this information. It was always about, damn, this seemed like an old ancient time machine, an old ancient mathematical equation machine or something like that, right? So I was like, the first thing I said was, I wonder if you put the new information that we know about the body and about life and about this and that and the third into this old time machine, this old mathematical, I wonder, will it still spit out accuracy? So I started digging in. I started saying, shit, we only knew about the lymphatic system 30, 40 years ago. We only knew about certain things just really recently when it comes to health. Let's throw this new information back into this old equation machine, this mathematical instrumentation, this calculator. Right? And it's been spitting accurate. It's been spitting accurate. And people on here know that. Hey, man, very interesting. What's your name, please? HerbMan. That's my name, the HerbMan. Yeah, you got to ask God. Can you explain a little bit more about delusions and loneliness causing acne? It's emotions. Your emotions go into your endocrine system. Your endocrine system will secrete different chemicals in your body. A lot of those are going to be growth factors. Hopefully, I just gave you that real quick. Okay. Delusion and loneliness is an emotion. That emotion is getting secreted into your bloodstream via the endocrine system. Okay. Therefore, those are normally going to be growth factors. They're going to have growth factors in those hormones. Okay. So that's one part of it, is that you are putting growth hormones into your bloodstream via your emotions. Another one is then doing it with food and with drink and with lifestyle decisions and all those types of things. So that's how delusion and loneliness, and it's 6 other ones. I can show you how stress does it, fear does it, how doubt and trust do it, guilt and unforgiveness does it, grief and depression does it. It ain't just loneliness and this, that, and the third. Attachment issues do it. So there are 7 deadly emotions that are secreting into the bloodstream under the environmental stimuli, meaning your lifestyle, whatever you got going on in your life, that's causing you to have these waves of emotion, right? And what's happening is you're getting out of balance with your wave of emotion. And you can be too dry, low tide, and you can be too flooded with emotions, high tide. You ever seen somebody that's too dry? They ain't got no emotion. They ain't gonna cry. They ain't gonna fuss. They ain't gonna. I'm dry, motherfucker. Fuck you. That's a low tide. That nigga, they emotions in low tide. But then you got some of us are flooded with emotion. They always fussing, always fighting, always crying, always complaining about something. Butterfly effect, just DM me. All right, anybody else? How do I purchase information? Channy B, just DM me. You on fire today, Tracy Lynn? You know how it is, man. South Africa just do a little something different for me, but we out here trying to do it. Yeah, Dr. Ray Hagens. Yeah, y'all know Dr. Ray Hagens, holistic grandma, that he lived right down the street from me, okay? And so my thing is, brother know all that stuff. And a lot of brothers know all that stuff, but that sometimes they get caught up in natural phenomenon because we're not using it for the health. For the health. Live long. For your health. Sometimes we can get caught up in some of these missions and in some of these drives and passions that we have, that we can out just run the body down. So you got to be careful, baby. You got to learn how to ride these waves. The Fibonacci sequence, I guess you can call it that. Fibonacci is in trading, right? The 3.14, the pi, all that Fibonacci, you can pull up in trading. You can pull your little Fibonacci chart up and it'll show you something, right? So how is all that in trading? Because it's all the same thing. Everybody's going off of nature. As far as the elites, as far as the 1%, it's the 99% that y'all don't have access to this information. So you don't know how to invest your money at a certain time. Like I was teaching yesterday about the fiscal year. The fiscal year is April to September, right? But the thing about it is that your income tax got to be in by April the 15th because that's spring, right? So the money got to be in by April the 15th. That's your budget, right? Then your budget ends in September for most people. Okay, well, why in September and April? Because April is in spring in Aries in the northern hemisphere. But you didn't know that Libra is spring in the southern hemisphere. Your money never leaves spring. Your money ain't never budgeting has never left spring, and you didn't know it. Why income tax and why is the budget got to be in by April? Because that's spring. That's investing. And when you get your owner's manual, you'll see that when I say y'all in spring, what I say, investing, growth, the growing of your money. And then why do they do it in September? Oh, you thought September just was the end of the year, right? No, September in the southern hemisphere is motherfucking spring. Libra in the southern hemisphere is spring. So even though they're doing it in Aries in April and then they're doing it in Libra in September, you thinking that's in spring and in fall. Because you're just looking at it from a half of the world perspective. This is about your perspective too. You ain't got no world view. So you only seeing things in the northern hemisphere. No wonder you only using the one side of your motherfucking brain then. You don't have a eagle's eye perspective. You don't have a topical view. You don't have a godlike consciousness for the world. You started talking about you. But what can you do for the world? What can you do for the greater good? What are you doing for more than just your children? I know you love your children, but you hurt mine, doctor. I know you want to put BB and CC in the college, pastor, but you ain't helping mine get into college. So you come in here every day to beat me down, to devalue me in order to build you up financially. You come in here every day in the name of healthcare, caring for me very recklessly in the name of caring for your family as a man and as a woman, as a provider, as a protector of your family. Don't keep putting your valuable life in the hands of somebody else who don't value your life. You need to love you more than anybody. And unfortunately, that doctor don't know you. And I promise you, it will sell you as many medications as it possibly can to pay that child's school fee out. And the pastor will tell you as many lies, many underhandings, many things that you don't understand to keep driving that Cadillac and living on the good side of the town. So you got to question care. And care comes in, who gonna teach me how to fish instead of keep opening up all these restaurants? And your owner's manual is that thing that we believe is the way that you should go. How do we learn these things we need to know so we can help ourselves and others? By getting your owner's manual, love. So, but you're about to purchase yours, so you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's for you, and once you start doing with you, then you'll know how to do it. They cut out your audio a lot. Oh, they messing with my audio. Can y'all hear me? Put some ones in the chat if you guys can hear me. We are over 100,000 likes. I appreciate all of you guys, man. Thank you for the love. I appreciate all of you guys. We got about 12 more minutes, man. We're going to keep it going strong, okay? We're going to keep it going strong, all right? Somebody give me a birthday. Let's do one. Give me a birthday. I know that y'all don't understand this, but this is really what we're attempting to do. I want to teach you about how to live forever instead of telling you about how to die tomorrow. I want to eradicate death consciousness. I ain't chasing disease, but I will chase death. I'm on death ass. I'm trying to hit that some bit, just like what Jesus went down there and did. I'm trying to whip his ass. We ain't worried about no disease. The ultimate disease on the planet is the death consciousness. It's the death consciousness. Gotta learn how to live forever. We need to learn how to live forever. And if the sun don't die, the water don't die, the earth don't die, and the sun and all this type of stuff, then and you made us as nature and we got to be guardians of this, then there must be something about that situation. So everything attached to this particular paradigm that is rolling with nature, that is in this cyclical pattern, is everlasting for the most part, right? So now, why is it that you can't do it? Because you can't preserve body, because you didn't never learn how to preserve earth. Your earth is your body. Your body is the earth. How you're treating your body is how you treat earth. That's why I told you this is about conservation and preservation. So now when I tell you about your healing, and I keep mentioning conservation, which is rest, and you don't see that. I'm trying to put it all in natural terms for you so y'all can get it. All right, we're going to do a birthday at the count of 3. I know y'all been putting them up there, but I don't care. We're going to do it on my time. On the count of 3, we're going to do a birthday. I want to make it fair. I don't just want to pick. We don't know who's first. We don't know who's second. We don't know who's third. So I don't want to pick like how y'all trying to get me to pick. So at the count of 3, YouTube, y'all get ready. The count of 3, we're going to do a birthday. First birthday I see, that's the one we're going to do. And hopefully we can ride this on now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Birthday. Ooh-wee. Y'all motherfucker faster than a zombie. Y'all are faster than a zombie, boy. Topeka. Topeka 1, y'all. Topeka 1. So let's hold on. Topeka. Okay. This is what you get with your owner's manual. Okay. Topeka, this is what you get with your owner's manual. Octa, Topeka. Every owner's manual serves as a guide for helping you with that piece of equipment. Long-lasting usage, performance. That's what the owner's manual is about. It's helping you get the most performance out of that equipment that you bought, the longevity out of that equipment, and the optimal usage out of that piece of equipment. And your owner's manual will give you nothing less than that. Also, the owner's manual, when it comes to service technicians like myself, when you want somebody to work on you, your owner's manual will serve as a guide for me. It'll allow me to make the repairs easier and faster because now I got your specifications. If y'all can't get that, I don't know what you're saying that you're getting. Okay? So you can take this shit to your doctor, your pastor, whoever. They need to be technicians. They got to understand this is what makes it easier and faster to work on me because now I'm giving you my tendencies. Right. Topeka, 10/26/1950. Your manufacturing date is 10/26/1950. Okay. Every owner's manual have a manufacturing date. Every piece of equipment got that, and every piece of equipment got a model number. You can go open up your refrigerator right now. Some of you guys can go open up your refrigerator right now, stick your head in and look to the left, and there's going to be a manufacturing number and a model number right there. And then if you just recently bought it, you can probably go in your drawer and find the owner's manual to your Frigidaire. Okay? So now your model number is going to be 10 plus 26 is going to give us 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. So from your birth date and your month, we got the number 9. From the year is going to be 15. Okay? 1950 is going to end up being 15. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 and 9 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. You are a model number 6. What this is telling me, your biggest spiritual tendency, Topeka, is grief and depression. If you are getting ravaged by grief and depression, Topeka, then you also got to watch out for immune system issues, autoimmune, respiratory, and immune system issues. You could be dealing with sinuses, allergies. You can be dealing with Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, things going on with your autoimmune issues. You could be dealing with some respiratory issues, COPD, all kind of stuff, right? If grief and depression is ravaging you, but that don't mean that you got to be dealing with that. Now, 10/26/1950, from 9/21 to 10/21, you out of that. So from 10/21 to 11/21, we know that to be what? A Scorpio. All right. So Topeka, the biggest thing that you're going to get when you get your owner's manual here is that this is the destination. Your starting point is your destination. So you should make it back here around this global track of life. Okay? That's going to make, if you make it back to Scorpio, you're going to be 120 years old. If I can get you to make it to 120 years old upright and healthy, then we can reach 240 at some point. We can reach 360, and now your ass is fucking around and getting into immortality because now you're understanding how to be balanced with nature. And you are conserving and preserving nature, and nature is conserving and preserving you. Had to put that silk had to come out of that then, didn't it? All right, so now 1950, man. So now you going on what? 75. I got one of the oldest cats on the block. We're going 75 years old. Okay, 75 years old. Now I can tell you exactly where you at in this. It's gonna take a little time, but I can tell you exactly where you at. Okay. 10/26/1950. So you 5 days in to this particular Scorpio. 5 days in. So you missed 5 days. Okay. Missing 5 days is automatically gonna give us 1 year and 8 months. Okay. Missing 5 days is 1 year and 8 months. 3 days make 1 year. 1 day make 3 days. Right. So let me show you how to. Well, I can't write it up here, y'all. So just follow me. So basically, he missed 1 year and 8 months of Scorpio. All the rest he got. Okay, so what you would say is that he got what? 1 year and 8 months, and you would say 8 and 4 months, right? So 8.4. 8.4 years, 8 years and 4 months in Scorpio. Okay, so now remember he's 75, so let's go. 18.4, 28.4, 38.4. 48.4, 58.4, 68.4. So then where is he? 68.4, we need 70, we need 75. Okay, 68.4. So that means that you're gonna need 6 years and 8 months, right? 6 years and 8 months in the Gemini. That's where you at. Boom. You're 6 years and 8 months in the Gemini. 6 years and 8 months in the Gemini. Okay, that's gonna let me know that you you're about halfway in, so you're about 20 days in to Gemini. So that means that you're almost in the middle decan. Okay, and that middle decan could mean currently that you could be dealing with some respiratory issues, some lung issues currently, Topeka. Okay. Also, what that could mean just in life in general, that you're rat dab in the middle of some communication between you and your siblings. Okay. You're rat dab in the middle of some communication between you and your siblings. If you got brothers and sisters, y'all have been really trying to grow and repair your communication between each other. Okay. That's what you're currently in the middle of right now. So we're understanding that that's the life point. Okay. And getting you to understand exactly where you at. Now, being in the first decan of Scorpio, then we got to watch out for a few things as well when it comes to your health. Sexual desire is one of them, and the other one is nose. Okay, nose issues. HerbMan, does it matter if she's a 5? I don't know who she is. I don't know what she is. But so you got that right. Now all of the rest of this stuff you'll get as you get your owner's manual, right? So if you are dealing with any kind of issues, then obviously we're going to be able to see that here, and this thing is going to spit out herbal remedies. So you get that with your owner manual. You get your herbal remedies. It's going to spit out food remedies. You get your foods. It's going to spit out lifestyle activities as things for you to do to manage some of these spiritual tendencies, some of these physical tendencies. You get that in your owner's manual. It's going to tell you about, if you're in transition and all this type of stuff, because here you're almost in this transition phase going into Cancer. Okay, so transition meaning that you got to be preparing for another major life event. Okay, and you 75. You're also in the intellectual phase of life. So this is going to so 75. Whatever you're doing, for some reason, Topeka, it is still it's still causing for you to have to utilize physical energy, use your body. So if you don't pass the PT test, you probably won't make it out of here. This is a physical test. This is the low tide. This is the new moon. This is the waning moon, right? So what you got to understand is that when you over here, you might have to be asked to do physical exertion. Well, what if you can't do it? You won't make it through it. You won't pass the PT test. What's happening is we're taking too much energy from the physical because you don't know that you're supposed to divide the time up for this 120 years. Your mind need to lead in certain times, and then your body need to lead. That means you need to do 60 years of intuition and 60 years of intellect. But if you just been riding that body, see, you didn't know about this. So look how many years you did in intuition that you probably was being intellectual, right? So you done failed this little spiritual test because you thinking this the first part of my life. Shit, I'm supposed to work, go out here and get it, and goddamn do this, that, and the third. So in the fall and the winter, you was working. Who in the fuck is working in the cold and the fire? Come on down, you see what I'm saying? But you don't know you in this. There was spiritual things happening to you right here, but you was trying to work your way through them. Topeka, in the beginning of your life, in the first 30 to 40 years, you were going through some spiritual stuff, but you didn't know what the hell was going on. So you was working your way through them. So now you did physical and the spiritual. And now when it calls for you to do some more physical, your ass probably can't even do it, which now this is going to be the more critical time to make it out of. If you 75 right here, hell, you'll be 100 and something down here. So this is a very good area for you to pass away and leave here, friend, because you don't understand what I'm teaching. But you get this in your owner's manual. Don't be scared of it. This thing is packed with solutions. Don't worry about that other stuff. This stuff is packed with solutions that we believe are going to help you. If you're interested in the owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you all the information that you need, man. That has been my time, you guys. All right. So, we still deal with light issues out here in South Africa, man. I will be talking to you guys a little bit more about some of the things that we experience living out here. But it's still a beautiful place to be, beautiful people. But we all need help. The Africans don't know everything. The Chinese don't. The Arabic, the Indians don't. You know what I'm saying? So everybody need to go back to nature. I don't give a damn who you is and where you at. And if you're currently trying to practice monkeyism and yogism and guruism, and you thinking about fasting and starving yourself to death just to reach some spiritual enlightenment, then you also will be just like the rest of them. Your ass won't come back to tell us how it is. But if you are really looking to really do this thing the right way, body preservation, baby, you got to know how to do it. And instead of starving your body, we want you to be able to enrich your mind. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. What's that? Yes, sir.